All right, so I'm denied about making this video today. Not only because it commits me to what I'm about to talk about, and that scares me a little bit because I am still on the fence about whether I do it or not, but also it's quite a personal experience. But I feel it's important to talk about that because there's a lot of parents out there that don't talk about this enough. And I want to qualify this. I have an absolutely amazing family. I have a beautiful wife, amazing children that are happy and healthy, and we live this absolutely amazing life. For context, we've been traveling for 2 years now, and we've settled here in Malaysia, and we're living a pretty good life. And for those who want to learn a little bit more about that journey, make sure to subscribe to the channel because I talk about that a lot and the experience of traveling like that. And you would think, absolutely amazing life, what do I have to complain about? What do I have to be concerned about? But I can't believe I'm making this video. Ever since I left the military, which I left in 2011, I was in the Navy for about 8 years, and I left the Navy in 2011. I've always been struggling with my weight. I joined the Navy, I was super lean. I left the Navy, and I was pretty lean, but quite muscly as well. And ever since I left the military, I have always struggled with my weight. And, it's not like, okay, this is about being honest and open. I always sort of say it's not like I'm super fat, but the fact of the matter is I'm overweight and I'm starting to get on in age, and I'm very, very concerned that if I don't drop the weight now, I'll never be able to drop it. You know what I mean? Like you talk to people and they say like if you don't lose weight when you're in your 30s, it makes it a lot more difficult to lose it in your 40s just because you're not as active and it's harder to move around and things like that. And that scares me. Okay, so bit of background and context here. I am 6'2" and 118-ish kilos. Now I'm very lucky that I'm tall, and as people say, I carry it well, but it doesn't remove the fact that I'm overweight. And it's only been really recently since I've had time to think and reflect. What if I get a chronic condition because of this weight? What if I end up with diabetes? What if I end up with health problems? And I've always been able to justify, I do Muay Thai a couple of days a week, I do exercise, I go to the gym and stuff, it's fine. But at the end of the day, I'm probably 20 kilos, 40 pounds overweight. And I'm getting to the point now where I'm just sick of it. I'm just sick of being overweight. And so you would have seen the title of this video is I'm leaving my family and going to Thailand, and that is 100% truth. In 2 weeks, I'm actually leaving for Thailand and leaving my family behind. And, I've spoken to my wife about this, and we both agree that it's something I need to do for me. And it's going to be hard. This will be the first time I have been away from my family for an extended period of time since I was in the Navy, actually. I used to go away on 6-month deployments, but that was just me and Pauline. We were only dating back then. Now, I have kids and a wife. I have decided that I am going to be heading to Thailand for 10 weeks to train at a Muay Thai camp and enter a fight. But before you leave, I just want to explain a little bit about why I'm doing it, because I think there's a lot of guys out there that are sitting there in denial about their weight and gaining weight and just not being happy with themselves. And hopefully this spurs some other people on to take a big drastic action to do something about it. Now, I've done Muay Thai now for about 18 months, and while I'm no Rodtang or Super Let or anything like that, I really enjoy it. As much as I'm probably an intermediate at Muay Thai, I really enjoy it. The thing is, I've always been conscious of how I look, and it's really hard now as I'm getting older to go to the beach and feel confident with my boys, which I'm trying to instill some confidence in them. I'm trying to instill some, them not being embarrassed and ashamed of who they are. Yet I'm sitting here and I'm conscious of sitting on a beach with my boys without my shirt on. It's not only frustrating, it's very disappointing because I'm telling the boys one thing and I'm not leading by example, I'm not leading by action. And this is why I think I have to do it. Enough is enough. I've just been overweight for too long now, and it's time to do something about it. Now, you may be wondering, Jimmy, just get your fat ass on a treadmill and start running. Granted, that's a valid point, and I do exercise regularly, but I've found, like anything in my life, I need to have something to work towards, right? It's part of the traveling, you know, like it's part of why I've been resting on my laurels for a little bit, because we've been traveling now full time and had a pretty good life. And I've sort of like rested on my laurels a little bit. I need some fire in my belly. I need some blood in my mouth, you know, like I need something to keep driving me and propelling me forward. And I just found that unless I have an actual overarching goal, which has a substance and reason to it, I just don't stick to things. I'm trying to be honest and transparent here. So the reason I'm going over there specifically and training and having a fight over there is because if I say to myself and the world, which is what this video is about, if I say to myself and the world that I'm doing this, then I don't want to not see it through, because there's a whole bunch of people, you know, I just don't want my boys to see me wishy-washing on things. I want them that if they commit to something, I want them to commit to it. And again, it's a bit hypocritical for me to say, oh, boys, you should stay fit and active and eat healthy, when I look like shit and I'm overweight and I'm not putting in the effort to do anything about it. Again, the reason I'm doing the fight specifically is because I don't want to get into a ring and not have the best chance of defending myself, right? And that includes cardio, that includes the Muay Thai part, but it definitely includes the cardio. Subsequently, if I'm training for a fight, then I should lose the weight, hypothetically, you know, if I'm willing to put in the effort. And I know for a fact I will never get into that ring unless I'm in the best shape I can possibly be to make sure I don't get hurt. Because it's serious, you know, like we're talking about fighting in Phuket and Bangla Stadium. I could be fighting some dude that's had no fights or some little Thai tuk-tuk driver that's had 150 fights. I just don't want to be in the situation where, you know, I get hurt and my kids see the result of all this training and everything is me getting seriously hurt and getting disheartened about doing Muay Thai themselves. So yeah, it's a combination of obviously me doing this for myself, but it's also mainly, I want to set the example for the boys that you got to practice what you preach. I tell these kids all the time, you know, if you're going to do something, commit to it and do it properly. And yet I sit there and I'll do Muay Thai and then I'll come home and have a Big Mac. That's not the standard I want to set. And I'm sick of being the overweight big guy. I'm sick of it. You know, it's embarrassing, you know, when we went to Escape Penang, which is here, which is a theme park, and, you know, not being able to go on rides and stuff like that because you're too heavy, it's embarrassing. And it's made worse by the fact that I know I could be doing something about that. And right now, I'm just not doing enough to make the change. And like I said, upon reflection, I know that's only going to get harder and harder. Now, you might be asking, why aren't the kids and Pauline coming with me? Well, it's a simple matter of logistics. I want to get this ball rolling. So in 2 weeks I'm leaving. I've already started jogging, and I've already started prepping myself to put up with the demands of training two times a day for 4 hours a day. But when we were looking for accommodation, because I'll be going to Phuket, when I was looking for accommodation, there was just nothing available because it's a high season. So the plan is I'm going to go over there for 10 weeks by myself, basically lock in, train, eat, sleep, train. And then once that's done, then the kids will come over with Pauline, they'll watch the fight, and then we may stay for another month and the boys will come and train with me at the gym that we're at. I would love to go on this journey with the boys, but logistically it's not going to happen in the time frame. And I really don't want to sit on this for 3 months because I'm already losing sleep over this. You know, I don't know whether I'm having a midlife crisis is maybe the best way to explain it. Maybe it's a midlife crisis, but I'm losing sleep over the fact that, like, you know, once I get diabetes, once I get high blood pressure, it's so much harder to not have it. You know, like, it's better to avoid it. And like I said, I've got a pretty thick skin, but like, it's starting to get to me being overweight. You know, I've got friends that are lean, I've got friends that are healthy, and they're doing everything for their kids. And, you know, we're going to theme parks and, you know, I can't go on rides. They can. It's getting to me. To the point, I almost went and signed up for Ozempic. If for any of those guys that don't know, it's a diabetes treatment, but it helps you lose weight. I looked at the side effects and went, oh yeah, I can put up with some side effects to do this. I almost started taking Ozempic because I'm that conscious of it now. And I'm just sick of it. I'm just sick of, like, not being able to do things with the boys And I could understand if it was something that was preventable, but it really isn't. It really is just me needing to lock in and have a goal and have an objective. So yeah, I don't really know the purpose of this video except for the fact of announcing to the world that I'm doing this. And I suppose if anyone wants to follow along in the journey, maybe, because I'm 38, it's not like I'm a 21-year-old dude that's a backpacker. I've got commitment and I'm freaking sore all the time, right? So it's going to be a bit of a challenge. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. It's giving me renewed vigor. I'm pumped for it. I literally went for a run the other day for the first time in almost a decade. So it takes a lot to get me to run, but I know over there I'm going to be running 5 kilometers every day. So I'm trying to prep for it. That wouldn't have happened if I didn't have the goal, if I didn't have a reason to lose the weight per se, or the reason to get off my ass and run, because I want to give myself the best chance of not getting knocked out in the ring. So yeah, the reason, again, I'm making this video is I just wanted to announce and let everyone know that this is what I'm going to do, because it's important to make yourself accountable to whoever will hold you accountable. Also a little bit of motivation. Maybe there's some other guys out there that are not feeling right, feeling a little bit off, and they may need something drastic to change to make that happen. That's why we left in the first place. The same situation that got us traveling and moving over here was the same trigger. I was just not happy in my job. I was just not happy and not fulfilled. And I was sick of the 9-to-5 grind. So we made the drastic decision to sell all of our stuff and start traveling full time. And it's been the best thing that's ever happened to me. Now it's just the next step of that, the next natural progression to be the best example for my kids I can possibly be. And there may be some of you out there that want to follow along with the journey, because I'll be documenting the whole thing, because I do think there's going to be some value for people out there that may be in the same boat. So if you want to follow along on that journey, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'm not sure yet whether I'm going to do it on this channel or a different channel, but you'll be kept in the loop. Plus, over there I'm going to be talking a lot, I'm going to have a lot more time on my hands to make a bit more content. So I'll be talking a little bit more about what it's like to lock in like this, basically take control and go, I'm sick of being the fat dude and I'm doing something about it. And also, I really do genuinely want my boys to be proud of me, as any dad does. It's not just me. It's like the goal of any dad, right? I feel like the only way I can do that with conviction is by doing something like this. So guys, like I said, make sure to subscribe to the channel if it's something you're interested in following the journey of. For context, like I said, I'm 6'2", I'm 38, got 2 kids, the commitments of life, and I'm like 118 kilos. So if I can get that under 100 to maybe 95 or 90, I'm gonna be in pretty good shape to take a fight. And like I said, the last thing I wanna do is get into a fight over there and in Thailand and like gas out in the 3rd round and get my head bashed in. And the best way to not get hurt in the ring is by being as physically conditioned as you can before you get in there. So that's the plan. So guys, hopefully you join me on the journey. If not, hopefully there's some people out there that may be feeling a bit off, that know that other people are feeling the same. Sometimes the only way you can deal with that is by just grabbing the bull by the horns and going, the only person that's gonna make me feel better is myself. So guys, thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you all on the horizon.